Hello, I'm Unhappiest Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today we're playing some Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. It's basically a communist simulator game, or to be more precise, it is a kind of Soviet state, Eastern Bloc Warsaw Pact state simulator, where you get to play as the government of said place, and, you can start with good intentions, but, we're just going to be realistic with this. Every single, Soviet country, or country that has called itself communist, has ended in the same way, so we're just going to skip directly to doing that goal, and we're going to try and maximize unhappiness, because the game does in fact have an unhappiness meter and an unsatisfied level, so we're going to be using that to our best level, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to be playing on the Eastern European medium hills in Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, a game which, again, just the pure tagline of this alone made me go, yes, we need to check that out. That is a thing we need to be doing, and I didn't even really ask questions after that. I was like, yeah, heck yeah, that just sounds good to me. So yeah, hello my BX Toycat, hope you're all doing good today. Apparently this stream's, it says bad on YouTube, but hopefully things are fine. As you can see, this is my republic. I mean, there's no one in here yet, I guess, again. Think that we get to start really good, we get to believe everything's wonderful, and then only later is everything gonna go terrible. So that's gonna be fine, and big thank you for the $1 super chat, by the way, really appreciate it. Anyway, let's quickly start by, giving you a guide of the map, because there's a really interesting mechanic in this game that most city building games don't have, and that's that you border other communist states, and you also border other, capitalist pig states. So these are the good guys, because they've got red stars. This is, presumably another Soviet client state, maybe Russia itself. You can kind of decide that how you want. But then, as well as having, borders with Russia or another communist state of some form, on the other side of the map, you're going to be bordering a capitalist state, because the interesting thing about this game is it's not just about communism. There's also places like this, for instance, just over there, that are on the, again, they use the US dollar for some reason. I don't know where in Europe that is, but you get the point. You border communist countries and you border capitalist countries. There are two currencies. Again, we got our rubles and we got our dollars. As it turns out, or our, ruble-like currency, as it turns out, the dollar's worth a lot more than the ruble, and should we just dive into this already? I think we should. So yeah, super interesting game that has a whole bunch of different statistics, such as happiness, well-fedness. There's lots of things we can go with, including government loyalty, which you better believe we want that to the max. But let's just get things started and start building a city, I guess. So yeah, again, it's got the usual city building stuff that you probably expect here. And if we're building a communist city, which you better believe we are, then every single city I've ever been to in the post-USSR, also, here's another free super chat, says, wait, I don't know, for some reason I don't have the names visible. Let me just quickly check up on that. There we go. Big thank you, Casey, for the $2 super chat right there. Oh, because every month you get a free super chat, YouTube Premium. That's a cool little bonus. Thank you very much, Casey. And also thank you to, oh man, I'm organizing my monitors and it's all going wrong. Okay, let's get back into this. We shall burn the capitalist pigs, says Max Johnson Young. Darn right we shall. Anyway, so every single post-communist state I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a few in my life, is the one thing they have in common is they all have super depressing city grids. And I know, like, lots of countries have city grids and they are depressing, but just something about them, man, it's just like endless grids on endless grids, all of which can do the same thing. And given that most city games are more efficiently played this way, I guess let's just go with it, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna make ourselves kind of like a noughts and crosses board, but instead of, fun things like noughts and crosses, there is no fun in Soviet Russia. Instead, we'll be, look at all our roads making themselves. But instead, yeah, we're gonna be using this just as a fun way to plan a city, and then we can work out everything from there. Oh, it turns out we can't build there just yet, so we'll build over here instead, maybe? There we go, look at that. My noughts and crosses board is gonna come together, no matter what it takes. And then we can work out the people and the stuff later. But, yeah, it's there's this interesting thing with, like, the one super chat a month thing is a super smart YouTube. I think so too. Again, I think any service giving you a little bit for free is really good, right? Including, you might want to extend that to, communism a little bit, give people a free trial. Say, hey, communism is kind of like a drug, right? It's the opiate of the masses, to entirely paraphrase, I think that's Marx, right? It might be Lenin, but, it's a thing people love. Everyone loves a free thing, and using that as a way to make people maybe enjoy doing it themselves, or even just using it as a way to, because YouTube still gets $8 and they give 2 of it back, but then they take 40 cents of that. It's like a small gift that goes a lot further and allows you to support streamers. It's a fun thing, right? The music's a little on the loud side. Hey, I do like me some loud communist music, but we're gonna have to turn it down, it seems. Just a little bit. again, you know, that's fine. Anyway, so let's dive right into this and let's show you that, like, again, we got ourselves a nice city here now, but now we can start putting the things in it. So it's like I said, every single kind of communist state always has the most depressing flat blocks. They kind of look like this. Wait, where's the biggest one? 120 workers, there we go. But yeah, it's just like endless copy-paste like buildings. So like, here is flat, here is another flat. Also, big thank you, Derek Selbeck, for the $10 super chat. Notice me, and then a bunch of like tweet birds, like notice you on Twitter, or is that just a, you know, cute little emoji that exists on YouTube? I don't know which it is, but thank you very much for the super chat. You have in fact been noticed. I don't know why it's not showing. Notice me, bird, 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 bird. Notice me, bird, 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 bird. I entirely agree. That's a good statement to make right there. So yeah, we're just gonna make a bunch of flats, all next to each other, all exactly the same. Again, this is what drives me a little wild. It's really hard to know your landmarks in a lot of cities because it's just the same block of flats again and again and again and again. And we're gonna place them slightly out of order because, you know, who knows how this whole thing goes. Also, free super chat. You learn something new every day. Says Richard Duran. Yeah, no, it's a cool benefit of YouTube Premium. I think they're only starting to roll it out, so if you don't know about it, I wouldn't feel too, you know, stupid or, you know, it's not like you don't know about a widely known thing. It's like a few days old, but it's a cool new thing, right? I think it's cool. Okay, so we're gonna just show the wireframe real quick. We're gonna find some spots to build even more houses. Actually, let's just keep using the same one. Why fix what isn't broken? And these flats clearly are not broken. So place one over here as well. Again, it's very slightly annoyingly out of order because our citizens don't, you know, it's basically creativity and individuality. Or if they're all perfectly the same, then that's kind of boring. But if they're just a little bit off, then it means they're not even like artistically well planned. So there we go. This is our beautiful little communist city so far. And yeah, now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna, I guess, find a place for them all to work. Because if you look at our population statistics, we're doing really good on happiness somehow, really good in everything, but we don't have great party loyalty, and also literally 100% of the population is unemployed, and it's just growing because there's no sources of employment here. So we can pick some sources of employment. I mean, we can build some education. We can build some crops, you know, some farms, some oil, you know, that's a key thing. Or, you know what I want to do instead? I want to build myself a pub. We're going to just, the one place to work in the village is going to be a pub, or I guess it's a city, but kind of not yet. Also, big thank you for the $5 super chat. If you, the stream will stick a rounds of video later. It's always a bit of a messy video because I'm so flustered when I do these live, but sometimes like, how do I respond to this? But it's kind of fun regardless. Anyway, a big thank you to the 379 Hero for the $10 Canadian super chat. And also, as you can see, we now have two, it's called Comrade Bar Drinks. So this is the only source of employment in the entire town. It's got 5 bar staff to 7 clients, so you know it's a good place. Again, that's the efficiency for which communism is very well known. Again, just it's best known that the most functioning economic system comes of communism. What widely known fact, as long as you don't use real situations and you make up your own, then that is entirely true, I think you'll find. Then we're gonna make ourselves, actually not, why not just make a bunch of pubs? Like, as I understand it, because the game has a little tutorial, because nothing's explained within it, there's just this help menu. It says in here, if I'm not mistaken, that alcohol makes happiness go further up or further down. So that's how to get citizens for free. Happiness in your citizens. Yeah, if you read it right here, it says, if citizens drink alcohol, their happiness goes up faster than other activities, but it can also negatively affect health. So it's an amplifier to the other things that make people happy or sad. And given that we're going to have a lot of those, we want to make sure that everyone's drunk as they do so. So 2 pubs. Actually, not. Why stop at 2? You know, we are the leader of this world. No one gets to say no to us, or they go to a gulag anyway, right? So all we have to do is build as many pubs as we want. And we could do them in a copy-paste style as well, because why not, I guess. It fits the theme. You know, that's the beautiful thing about this. Like, every other city building game, everything just kind of looks identical and it's kind of weird. In this game, there's a reason. It's just how they did it, you know? It's how a lot of, you know, major cities in that hemisphere of the world just look today. So build a pub over here as well. For some reason, this grid just doesn't work correctly. I'm not sure why that is. Like, we have to move things a little bit, but it's fine. And there we go, look at that. We've got ourselves 7 pubs and about 7 buildings. Every building has a pub. Yeah, something like that. Close enough. And now you should see our happiness level. It's climbing, or I guess climbing in terms of how we're measuring it, pretty fast. Yeah, look at all those happy, nudge, nudge, wink, wink people. Somehow, though, one of the bizarre things is their loyalty to the party is going up. They are a lot more loyal than when we started. But, you know, maybe happiness just... The more happy you are, the less loyal you are. The less happy you are, the more loyal you'll be. So, if that's the case, then we can kill two birds with one stone, it seems. Also, Toycat, you've evolved a lot since I started watching you. I mean, that's the cool thing about YouTube, right? Like, if you're the same thing forever... I mean, it's true with the real world, or with any part of the world, right? Like, if you're the same forever, then that's probably a problem. Like, people say you've changed like it's a bad thing. It's like, yes, we've all changed. That's the natural state of being. Not changing is the thing that would be weirder, in my opinion. Anyways, we're going to build some farms now because, you know, we need a source of employment that will actually feed the people. So my pro tip is going to be go ahead and... Oh, what do we got here? We got a farm. So we're going to make ourselves a farm here. Because, again, we got to have somewhere for the people to work, the plebs. You know, we need a smaller field, apparently. And my pro tip is always to just build the fields at the edge of the place, like you would in a normal city. But then we're going to arbitrarily, because, you know, in communism, everyone and everything is equal. Except not in our version of communism. In our version of communism, we're going to make it so not everyone's equal. Everything's going to say it's equal, but that's not how it's going to be. Actually, fun fact, just as one of my favorite things is looking into, again, like, why did the communist states fail? Because, you know, it's easy to just say, oh, I don't like this ideology. But I mean, actually looking at what went wrong is, you know, it's important if you ever want to either argue for or against it, I would say. And so again, because every single state that's called itself communist has failed. Also, well, heading out, lost my wallet. The wallet of this debit card I'm using for the super chat. Here's to hoping I find it. See, it sounds a little bit like someone might have stolen your debit card and they're using it to super chat for me. And to that person, thank you for committing credit card fraud on my behalf. Appreciate the the dollars, Mr. Credit Card Fraud Man. But no, more seriously, that sucks. Hope you find it. But yeah, no, so every single state that's called itself communist has been less successful than its neighbors of, you know, differing systems. And I find that to be really interesting. I mean, you might say it's obvious or whatever, but again, it's interesting to see that is the case. And because of it, it means that, like, people just tend to say, like, oh yeah, but like, it wasn't ever the correct form of communism. And therefore, if there's no correct communism, then what we're doing is just as correct as anything else. So anyway, now we're gonna build ourselves some more You know what, let's just build some more flats. We need these everywhere, right? Oh, they're hard to build everywhere. Build some here. There we go. Build some flats right next to the farm. Also, you know, since we're gonna have some fun with this, we're also gonna build some agro farms. And we're gonna put them right in the center of town because logic need not apply over here. I think it's probably gonna do a little bit of pollution, right? Because I mean, it's an agro farm. I don't know how farming works. I don't work on a farm, live on a farm. You know, there just aren't enough farms where I live in the UK. It's a very urban place. And yes, we're gonna try and build as many sources of annoyance for the citizens. They're gonna live right next to some giant farms in there. Like, it's such a funny thing to have a flat when you've got land around it. Like, flats are meant to be a more efficient use of land, and we're just using the land inefficiently because we want people to live in these tiny flats. Because, again, what tends to happen is... Oh, by the way, big thank you Scuba Dubit for the $1.99 super chat. Do you have any channels that you watch regularly? I have quite a few, but so I'll just tell you, like, the one that comes to mind. Because before this live stream, the last video I watched was a Window Productions one. It makes a lot of videos about flying, I find interesting. So there you go, fun fact. Also, I don't see any humans, says Liam Vandermeer. Here you can see, we have a bunch of humans. They're going to the pub all day, every day. We can look at them for a few seconds while I tell the story. Because one of the things I find crazy interesting is because pretty much, you know, the idea, you know, socialist, communist, whatever ideology, generally doesn't have a leader because, you know, hierarchies are, you know, they're not considered a thing you need on the left. But then someone inevitably ends up leading it. And my favorite thing is the titles people have to give themselves. Because sometimes you go Kim Jong-un about it and you're like, I'm supreme leader. I literally came from the heavens and that's why I lead the country. But Stalin, which is one of the more famous examples of, you know, communism gone wrong, gone sexual, whatever, is he called himself the first amongst equals. Like, oh, we're all equals, us running this country. I'm just the one who happens to be the figurehead. And then eventually became a dictator. It's happened, again, pretty much every country is the same thing. Like even the latest examples in Eastern Germany, you know, the democratic, the DDR it's called, the GDR, the German Democratic Republic. You know, their leader, again, very democratic guy, was exactly not the case. But he was one of the best examples of democracy. It's like, ooh, but kind of not really. You know, forced people to vote in public, forged election results, even though people had to publicly vote, punished people who voted against him. Ooh, you know, those aren't really good traits in a leader, is it? So yeah, that's usually why people criticize communism, because a way of giving people freedom often immediately removes freedom and then never gives them anything back. So fun fact to click in, just while we explain what exactly we're doing with all these things. Which, by the way, we've got works on the fields now, so we need to get tractors going. And let me show you something really spooky. Is this close enough to the field? Yes, it is. So this game is really in depth in that it like lets you buy tractors, and it's like, this tractor is from Soviet Union. This tractor also from Soviet Union, but made slightly later at the same price apparently. This is cargo truck from Czechoslovakia. It's very good, made in 1996. I can't do it at Russian voice. But you can see there's a bunch of like, these are all accurate. They're all slightly different. You sometimes even see though, like, this is called East Germany, this is called DDR. It's like, Dance Dance Revolution in East Germany. Like, they're two names for the same place. But yeah, it's crazy the detail they went into. Like, oh yeah, this is the SKD 706, and if communism and, you know, I guess the former East German satellite states are your thing, this game has got you covered in terms of details. Like, there's just so much going on here. It's kind of wild. But yeah, the thing I said that would spook you out is that if you look real close, you can see how the tractors and anything like that. Actually, this one's not covered, so it's not a good example. But there's no people inside any of them. You don't need people for the tractors to work. They just exist by themselves. And I would say they're quite impressively made, but it's still really bizarre to look at. Yeah, let's get another tractor. This one from the Soviet Union. Because Belarus makes really good tractors, but the Soviet Union does not, even though Belarus is in the Soviet Union. But let's just not question that part, okay? Let's just not question it. There's a lot of problems that come when you ask too many questions, so you're just gonna have to stop doing that. Yeah, look at this tractor. So the Soviet Union is so good at making tractors, they don't even need people to run. Like, it can even turn by itself too. Very, 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 very upsetting. So yeah, as you can see, things are going pretty well in our communist. Look at that gap in the road. You know, it's fine. This gap in the road is meant to be there, I'll have you know. It's a sign of our superior to the West engineering skills. Actually, do cars even care about that? Is it just gonna drive over it? I guess so. Fair enough, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, we're now doing a lot of farming on an industrial scale. You can see how people are going into the farm. They never come out from the farm, which, again, it's an attention to detail, piece of realism that you never even expect. That was also very realistic. This game is top quality, I assure you. Everything is to the max of what it can be. But yeah, let's see how our happiness is going. We're at, what is that, like, just under 60%? It doesn't actually say precisely. But I think, as you can see, party loyalty still going up, and happiness still very much going down. So, as long as we get these two things going together, we are nailing our communist society. In Mother Russia, radio, listen to you. That's actually, you know, okay, so, again, just a bunch of fun stories. I don't want to generalize on, like, all the Russian security forces, but it is a well-known thing that there's a bunch of hotels in the former Soviet republics that weren't Russia that would have, like, listing devices on, like, everything. In fact, there's quite a few famous jokes that are like, you know, if you really want to get, you know, if you want to get a tea, all you have to do is, you know, suggest to your friend that you want it. You know, there's some fun jokes about, like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of jokes in the former communist states about, like, oh yes, you're always being observed, but it's fine, it's for your own good, you know, like, you got to keep people safe somehow, and if that means observing literally everyone all the time, then so be it. Or rather, so be it. Am I right? Ha 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 ha. But no, so we've so as you can see, we've now got ourselves a nice bit of industry going on, but we can add some more to that if we want to, because this game also has railways. So at some point, we're going to need to trade for some more rubles, or realistically, the good currency, which is dollars. But again, we're going to try and first of all build a a point to this border, because you can see there's a little rail track over here. So we can now build a rail all the way from the border to our city. This can be expensive, but I mean, I'm not the one paying it, am I right? And now we're gonna go ahead and build a nice little train station all the way out of town, but it's fine. So yeah, although this game has a really interesting premise and there's a lot of fun executions on it, it also has a lot of real issues in my opinion. And let me show you a good example of that, because if we build ourselves a railway, which I think we're doing just about fine here, right? Okay, there we go. Is that good? Okay, flatten the terrain, and boom. So we've got ourselves a railway, 3 little points, connects over there, over here. But when trying to sell or buy stuff in this game seems to be near impossible. So now we're connected to the border, right? We can buy resources from Starolinia, or we like, and just to add something more, to prove that I'm not just incompetent with railways, which is totally true. This isn't how rail works, right? This isn't how rail works at all. But just prove a little point, we'll build a nice little asphalt road all the way from there to one of my farms, let's just say. All the way, flatten that terrain, build me a big road. So now my town is connected to the border. We're a border town all of a sudden. And you can see how, okay, when are we going to be buying the resources? And the answer is never. Again, it's a super fun idea for a game, but it's in early access. Oh, I should clarify, just full disclosure, this code was given to me randomly while I was in Japan by one of the developers, I assume. And I was like, you know what? I do have a thing for communism. love me a good bit of communism in the morning. But yeah, no, it's super interesting just how many tactics are used to again, every single let's just call it far left ideology for now, to keep things simple, because people will say it's not real communism, it's state capitalism, it's not real socialism, it's communism, it's not real communism, it's socialism but with Chinese characteristics, or whatever bizarre whatever bizarre title you want to give something. But if we call all of those things together, there's always this interesting level where oh yeah, well, we have this fun idea, but to get to the fun we need to also have some bad in between. So for instance, one of the crucially dividing ideologies in the USSR is that you couldn't have, actually I think I've worked it out, I think I'm building my roads the wrong way. For some reason these roads only work in one direction. So we just build this and then connect it to this. That should be fine. But so yeah, we got 3 roads now connected to the border, as well as a railway, so everything we could ever need, right? Or I hope so. But yeah, one of the big things that that I find really interesting about the idea behind, I guess, Soviet Russia, but it was a thing that Lenin, I think, especially wanted, is that you couldn't have communism in just one country, it would have to be international. But then there always becomes the question of so what if it isn't international? And then the answer is really never well, let's just hope it never comes to that, eh? Oh, I think I have done this the wrong way. Let's just pretend we haven't. And there we go, we got ourselves some nice railways. Do we have to buy trains? It makes sense that we would have to buy trains. But also, I mean, maybe we don't. Let's just hope that we don't. There we go, look at this. We got a nice little train set here. We can even make them connect up like we have. Look how beautiful our railway is. And now let's see if trains come over here. Or do we have to buy it? I honestly don't know how any of the train system works, but I know there are trains in this game. And that eventually they'll come to me. Yeah, I think you buy them here, maybe? Buy electrified. You can buy train aggregate, you can buy cargo train stations. A train depot, I assume. Oh god, this is a big boy. We're gonna need some space for this. So let's build one of those. Oh, it's actually not that big. In fact, I think this is a train, oh no, it's a train platform. Big difference between a train depot and a train platform, as people tried to tell me at least. Okay, so we'll have the depot be over here, on some nice flat ground, just over here will be great. So Cat could make his own republic if he wanted to. I mean, anyone can technically declare a republic. There's a series on this. I don't know how old it is or how accurate you want to consider it. But anyone can kind of declare themselves a country, because as long as you don't believe in the, there's 2 models of a country. One is that you need to have a people, a representative, blah blah blah, lots of lame things. And the other one, the other view of a country, is that if you say you're a country, you are a country. Because otherwise, how do we, you know, talk about situations like Taiwan, where legally we can't call them countries, but we all kind of know what's up? And if you believe that, then I could just say, I am a country. You know, like the Office episode where it's like, I declare bankruptcy, and you're like, oh, that's what is that? In the same way, you can just be like, I declare countryhood. It's like, so you're a country now? I know people would make that into like I identify as a country joke, but you know, it's a real thing you can do under certain definitions of the word country. So fun fact, it's Toycat, right? Gotta instill this in all the school CCs. In the first place, Marx wrote that communism to take place in a country where the working class is involved in the majority. At the time, UK and a country majorly involved in the National Revolution. But yeah, there's the interesting crisis of like, what if it doesn't occur in other countries? And it's a crisis that doesn't really have a direct answer, right? More than like, I guess we hope that doesn't happen, because that leads to a lot of confusion. Also, our happiness is very steadily going down, so even though we're doing next to nothing, we're still doing really good. Oh, our population is shrinking. I guess they're dying. I mean, that's good. Again, pretty accurate communism so far. So they're upset because they can't get food, they can't get meat, which you'd figure that would come under food. They can't enjoy culture. I mean, on your list of needs, should culture really be third? They can't go to a church or place of spirituality, unable to get clothes, unable to get electronics. Okay, just saying, weird list of wants, but we can work with that. We're gonna go ahead and make ourselves something big. Storage and warehouse, various industry. So I think, plastics factory. We're gonna build some factories for things that we don't have. Again, a famous thing that you see, I think especially in China these days, but it's a common problem with central planning, as opposed to other forms of planning. But when you just have someone be like, hey, I want this, like the most bizarre personal reason can lead to a giant statewide decision. Like if I suddenly decide, you know, I really want a bunch of pubs, and you know, actually I do want a bunch of pubs. Let's build even more. If there's one thing that has been helping our decrease, it's got to be the pubs, right? There are so many people going to this factory. Oh, it employs a bunch, that's why. Jesus, look how fast they're running there too. They're like, there is work. Heck yeah. I'm gonna work at the plastics factory, despite the lack of plastics or anything else like that. It makes a bunch of waste though, which is good. Perfect. No resources missing. Chemicals, oil. So you can have a bunch of people working at a factory that produces nothing. Again, common issue, I would say. Toycat, why haven't you started the revolution and stormed the palace? This is after that's happened, right? Like that's like stage 1 in the revolution. Now we're in charge and we get to just be as incompetent as we like. And there are absolutely no penalties for failure. I mean, I'm assuming something happens when your happiness reaches 0. I guess we can find out as we go. After we build some more flats, of course. People need places to work, and obviously more people means more pubs are needed, because everyone loves a good pub. So, pub over here, pub over... Look how tricky it is to build, like, pub over here, pub over here, pub over everywhere, honestly. Like, if there isn't a pub in a space, we need a good reason why, not a good reason why not. Okay, there we go. We got this. You know what? We should have a pub street. I reckon we could do that quite easily. Pub. Also, isn't it a bit weird that there's a road leading to the pub? I guess, like, that's how it works in the real world, but, like, isn't that, like, not what you want to encourage? Maybe, again, I might be wrong on this one. I might be all off base. But I think, generally speaking, you don't want to encourage people to drive to the pub. But again, it's all fun. We're going to build all of these things. Make a church as gaming with Psy. So another fun fact, just in case you, you know, because we're role-playing right here. This is what we do on this channel. Just a really bizarre fun fact is that I think it's especially again Lenin, because again I don't think it's like a horrifically misplaced idea. You know, in the communist world, there's a lot of questionable ideas because again there's a really good underlying ideology behind, like, oh yeah, you know, workers are being exploited, and therefore X. And then X is where everyone gets wrong. Like, oh yeah, if workers are being exploited, clearly we need to kill all the royals. We need to, you know, seize the means of productions. We need to blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, a lot of things go badly there. But beyond the basic so like there's a lot of things like that, and one of those interesting things where it's like, I don't know if that's necessarily good or bad, is religion was heavily discouraged in the USSR. Like, you could be religious, but you also kind of could not. Also, we have a lot of pubs. We have a lot of pubs. Like, it's hard to build them for some reason, but we have as many pubs as we could have. And it's a big source of employment, it seems. Like, look at all these people, they go there just to, like, two guests to 5 bar staff. Again, Soviet efficiency at its finest right here. The fact that people think any USSR puppet was a country really shows misinformation and misunderstanding of the ideology. You doubt that they were countries? Surely you mean that they were communists, right? I'm assuming is what you mean. Again, the endless debate is like, oh, it's not communism. But then the debate is like, so why did someone who said they wanted to start communism start that, you know? Like, it'd be like if every single time you went to the store to buy apples and you came back with bread, or like, I don't know, something worse than bread, like needles infected with HIV, it should be like, hey, I know that these needles infected with HIV are not apples, but at the same time, we should really work out why it is that every time I say I'm going for apples, I end up injecting myself with HIV. Like, again, I think it's a bit idealistic to say, oh yeah, well, the best form of something is one I haven't made. But I think what's way more interesting is like, so why is it? What has gone wrong every time? You know, you need to have a pretty good understanding of why it happens and how to avoid it. Or like, again, not that I can vouch for your ideas though, but it's just an interesting little thing. How drunk do you want people to get, says the Inventor Mayor. I mean, I just feel like they're not drunk enough right now. Like, we have 2 pubs for every block of flats, but is that enough, you know? I just don't know if it is enough. There's too many people going to the factory and not enough people going to the pubs, says Froggy Fellow. Yeah, you know, it is look at all these people. There are just so many people every day that go there. It's a factory that produces nothing, but it's our #1 source of employment, which is it's. I think that's pretty fun personally. So we're gonna purchase some resources of dollars. Set it to auto purchase, and we'll see if that makes people unhappier, because probably more pollution, right? So we'll just import a bunch of oil. There we go. So now, as you can see, yeah, it looks like when we actually fill it with resources, the pollution goes way up. It might be worth importing oil just to burn, just to make our people less happy. So let's do some more of that, I guess. Get ourselves a nice little other factory here. Oil. I think it was just industry, right? I think which one it was. Construction related? Oh, there it is. So now we're gonna make a gravel processing plant. Oh my god, this is too big. Just plan all of that. And I think you'll find people live next to a gravel processing plant. The absolute dream, if I've ever heard of one. So we have to connect it up to where people live with a road of some form. I think you make pathways as well. They're footpaths. But a nice little footpath there. People have to walk to work for this place. There are no other choices. Sorry about that. Oh, also we'll have direct paths from the gravel factory to the pubs. Because people are going to be so depressed about that. There we go, look at this. The building's not even finished being built yet. Or maybe it is. Oh, that is finished. That's what the gravel plant looks like. So yeah, we have made a monstrosity here. But then we'll do the same thing. Set it to auto purchase. Buy a bunch of this. Yeah, look at that pollution. I mean, it's actually not great pollution. Like, gravel pollution's a real problem, don't get me wrong. But it's not exactly what we're going for. I think we want more plastics factory. Pro tip, if you want to kill the environment, get a lot of plastics factories. Just, that's all we want. This is my new goal in life. Have as many of those as we humanly can. We don't have any... Okay, concrete plant. No, I think we have to go somewhere else, like various industry. Hello, Toy Cat. How are you? Says Synovia B0PL. I'm doing pretty good, Synovia. I had a really good day recently. Also, working in Ground Factory is the dream job. All true communist countries were invaded, says Max Johnson Young. But which true communist countries would you say were invaded? I don't think that's easy things to define, right? So we're going to build just a bunch of plastics factories now. This is going to be the rest of the town. So over here, build me a plastics factory. Okay, it doesn't let me. Yeah, look at that. Plastics factory there. Again, we've got to have nice connections to the pubs. Because we want people to be upset with work and upset with pollution. And even more upset because they're drunk. Like, it's just a well-known fact, right? The more drunk you are, the more you'll yell about that factory, and the more that'll upset your wife, and then it'll wake your kids, and, you know, it's just what we gotta do if we wanna truly reach the peak of this, which you better believe we do. So, now we've got 3 plastics factories, but also set them all to buy things, because it's, you know, oil's expensive. It's not like we live in a place where there's a bunch of oil, so buy all the oils, all the chemicals, and now start dumping those right into the atmosphere. Oh, it's not doing it just yet. Oh, it's because we don't have enough workers. Oh, no, I hope we haven't employed everyone. Yeah, we've got a problem. We've got unemployment way too low down. Serious issue right here. Serious issue. Also, our population's slowly shrinking. Oh, because our average lifespan is slowly shrinking too. Oh god, look how fast that's going down. Look how fast we are killing people. This is the dream. This is what we want. But party loyalty has never been higher. The more drunk people get, the more they love me, but the less happy they are. Like, we're running out of people. We need to build more flats or something. I'm not even sure how to do this. Yeah, let's build some more flats. I reckon that's the easy solution to this one. Build ourselves some more prefabs. Over here, better believe we need one of those. Up here, better believe we need it. We have some pubs that probably need some flats next to them for people to go home to or whatever. Yeah, look at this. Just perfect. You should probably feed your humans, says Liam Venomir. See, that's disgusting. Humans are terrible, and I think they should all die. Because that's, you know, and that's actually me being quite a good person. You'd be a terrible person if you didn't want people to die. So, hashtag not all humans, am I right? Oh wait, that'd be hashtag yes all humans. Like, yes, humans are bad. They cause some bad. Okay, so we're gonna have roads from these apartment buildings just straight to the other apartment building. Wait, that doesn't work at all. That doesn't make any sense. You know, they can work out that way. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so population. We got a bunch more people, but those people are also steadily dying. Like, the happiness went up just because we got people who weren't as unhappy. Oh no, look, it's actually raising at the moment. So we somehow need to make people less happy. And we need to get new people and also make them happy at the same time. So I guess we should make people have families. I mean, I'd be unhappy if I had a family. So clearly, the solution is more of those. Also, you can see how our like dollars are just draining at a concerning rate, but that's fine. You know, that's the capitalist pig currency. We don't need any of that. Although maybe we should connect to the border just in case. Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So let's see how the food is actually going. Like, why have we not got it? Oh, there's just no workers there. Like, there's a flat here, but it only has 30 people in it. And they're not working on the fields, apparently. They've decided that's not what they want to do. I guess we gotta build more flats over here. Yeah, this is terrible. The problem with making such a terrible society is people just keep killing themselves. Like, I wanted to kill them, but they're dying before I can. And I think that's really selfish. I think they should consider my wants and my desires a bit more than they already are. It just seems a bit unfair to me. Is the US here to give you loans here? No, you just starve a bunch of their currency and you can sell stuff to them or buy stuff off them. An interesting fact you might not know is that back in the days when Europe was split in two, the communists, the Warsaw Pact countries, could only trade with each other, and the same with Western European countries, of course, because, communist countries weren't accepting, let's just call it capitalist countries to be simple. But the interesting situation is that because Sweden was neutral, Sweden could sell both sides stuff. And yeah, there's this really interesting thing where, like, if you wanted a good thing, like a good car, for instance, back in Soviet times, you had to pray you could get one from Sweden or something. And I don't know why I love that so much. Just as like, oh yeah, they could only trade, but with people who weren't actively opposing them. And it's like, huh. It's weird that was only 45 years ago, or whatever. No, it's not even 45, like 30 years ago, yeah. No, 40 now, right? No, 30 years ago, it was still like, oh, you can't trade with these people because they're capitalist pigs. You can't trade with these people because they just don't want your stuff. even if it's good for them. Also, it seems as though no one's working on the fields. Everything's alright with this field. Clearly it's not, right? Clearly it's not okay. Oh, I guess it's just growing, so while it's growing, it just does nothing. Is that really how this goes? Yeah, you just wait for stuff to grow in this game. So while my people starve, there's just wheat in fields that we're like, you know, we'll be fine about it. Communism is yes, says Mac Johnson Young. I disagree. J. Davis Bro, hi. Good to see you, man. How do you combine left-wing libertarianism with Leninism? I think when people say they're left-wing libertarian... No, wait. I think the weirder one is like libertarian Marxist, right? It's like, I have an idea in my head that I really want, and it's the best of both worlds. I want all the liberty of a world without government, and I want all the equality of a world with all the government. But rather than being specific, I'll just say I want both. Like, I know, that's my take on things. I've always heard people say explain it, and they never explain it in a logical way, because there isn't an example of it in the world, right? When you don't have an example, like a working example of something, you can say anything you want. Like, hey, it's, you know, once you go past your, I don't know, you right now, I can give you an idea for like, okay, here's the perfect system of governance. What you have is you have 6 sheep, and the 6 sheep, they all sit round a table with buttons, and whichever button they press more is the decision. Statistically speaking, on average, these random decisions are probably going to be fine. So it's all great. And try and tell me that's not a good system of government. You can't. It's never been tried. There's never been a 6 sheep around a table deciding how a country is run. And because of that, you can't tell me it's not the best system of government. And if you tell me I'm wrong, I'll be like, oh yeah, but you haven't considered. There'll be sheep from Wales, and Welsh sheep actually have a better perspective than like New Zealand sheep, for instance. And therefore, you're kind of misunderstanding the idea. And you can do that like endlessly, if you really want to. It's kind of fun. Also, Minecraft Realms, but I run it like a Shrek comp. That's the worst idea. I'm glad I'm not going to be doing that. Although now I'm tempted, like, no, we're not going to be doing that. But it is a fun idea. Oh, you can buy vehicles. Okay, we haven't been doing it until just now. You're going to buy a cement tank from the United States. Again, it's really interesting that, like, apparently there were a few things. See, 99% of what you can import into these countries is from Soviet Union fixe or Ukraine. Again, also a part of the Soviet Union. Let's just buy all the vehicles. I want to see what they all look like. So now we got trains. Look at this magic. We might finally be able to, like, import or export resources, or import them slightly less expensively. Because, like, look at that number just shrink bit by bit. Kind of crazy. They need more tracksuits to be happy, says Moonbot Murphy. I'll have you know that's actually offensive. I am a communist who wears a tracksuit. Actually, I've never worn a tracksuit in my life. Like, I've worn like a tracksuit style hoodie, and I've worn tracksuit style trousers. But they don't seem like particularly comfortable to me. Does anyone understand the appeal? Am I missing something? Like, do I need to give them a try? Should we have like tracksuit only week next week on the Toycat channel? Like, I don't know. It just seems to me like tracksuits aren't comfortable, but they clearly must be, or people wouldn't wear them all the time, right? Also, to make people happier, we're just gonna get rid of all of the environment. People always complain about how much they hate the environment, right? They're like, oh no, environment's getting so much worse, or something like that. And oh no, don't push this. So given that everyone hates the environment, well-known fact, we're just gonna get rid of it. Like, have we ever considered that's the solution? Everyone's always like, oh man, the environment's dying, climate change and all this. If we didn't have an environment, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Let's just get rid of it. Oh, we've broken things. There we go, we're good. Tracksuit is yes. They're breezy. Tracksuit only week. Like, should I just buy a nice tracksuit? Maybe I, had a terrible one as a kid. What's the scoop, right? Like, why do people have tracksuits? I really don't. I can't even begin to understand. So, look. They go the wrong direction. Wait, do they really? I missed. I was paying attention to tracksuit talk. So, along the train track, I don't see a single thing here. Unless you're saying tracksuits go the wrong direction. Oh, you're saying, like, maybe the train tracks go in the wrong direction? Because that also makes some sense. Yeah, what we'll just do is we'll just demolish this, right? Just all the way gone. And then we can work it out from there. Okay, so now we build some tracks. And we connect them in the way the game wants me to. Oh, it has to go forwards, does it? Okay. So this one also goes forwards. And then we just kind of see what happens. Okay, is that good? And then we'll connect this one just over there. Apparently the terrain is not planar. Yeah, no, we've got a lot of messy track here. You know, this is beautiful. This is as Stalin intended. You know, we'll just have a bunch of track around there. Just make it look as ugly as we humanly can. There we go. This is some good track building right here. Top notch. Yeah, no, I don't see why there's no trains. Clearly, we have done this perfectly. Unless maybe this pink thing says that we've done it the wrong way. I'm not sure what that means. Click on a train to make a route. Oh, you have to make the route yourself, do you? So I destroyed all of that for nothing. So we send that over here. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we just send everything over there. We could send this one to the border, maybe. Yeah, let's send it all the way to the border. When I was younger, I used to play this, like, Train Tycoon game. And just... I don't know why I like that game so much, but, like, trains are kind of cool, right? Like, they're not actually cool. But at the same time, can we not say trains are a little bit cool? So yeah, there are trains in here somewhere. Like, there are trains locked in this shed somewhere, just waiting to get out. You know, maybe there's a train inside all of us, just waiting to get out. You should do building tutorials for this. Here is how you make your society entirely collapse. Because as you can see, our population statistics, they're looking pretty bleak again. Our population is just dying as fast as they're being replaced. And happiness, again, consistently going down, which is good. It's what we want. Oh wait, average lifespan isn't going down as fast as it used to be. I guess we gotta wait for a lot of people to die. Yeah, so how do we make people die even faster? Because they were dying a lot faster before. I guess we make some more factories. Sawmill. Yeah, we definitely don't want to build anything useful, so just a big old extra one of these. Get that pollution going to the max. Oh yeah, look at all that craziness going on right here. You know, maybe we just need all the plastic factories. We just need plastic factories wherever we can have them. Because if people aren't getting unhappy fast enough, clearly we've done something wrong. Toy Cat, why are you a dog? Ah, you got me there. Oh wait, no you didn't. You see that? Got you right back. Understaffed hospital. More like unstaffed hospital, am I right? Let's do this. Let's grab us a... I'm not even sure, like, education? What would you say a hospital is? A residential building? Oh, hospital, there we go. So we're going to build a hospital for all these people. We're just going to place it over here. Because, you know, I want a beach house. And I'm going to use state funding to make a hospital into my beach house. And that's going to be fine, apparently. And then to make sure no one else comes near my beach house, we'll just make sure there's no way they can do that. Place some Soviet emblems around here. I didn't realize we could do this, by the way, but this is something you see all the time over Russia, like just from the ex-USSR days. It's very strange. But there we go. Now we've got a hospital. People can technically stop complaining about their health issues and the fact that the pollution is killing them, and all they do all day is drink at the pubs. Like, look, they all have 5 bar staff and 1 guest, or 0 guests. Yeah, 0 guests, 2 bar staff, 3 bar staff, 0 guests. This is beautiful. This is the dream. Imagine if you had 5 bars on your street and none of them had any people in. You could go to any of them at any time. It would be perfect. It's the dream. But yes, we got a bunch of crops here ready to transport, and they're just not being transported. So we're gonna buy some covered trucks, some covered trailers, just all the nonsense, all the cars, and see if we get some vehicles sent to places. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. And hopefully we can start exporting crops, or at least feeding our population. I'm not even sure at this point, but that average lifespan sure is going down. Nightbot's on vacation, says Kit Kats. That's a good way to put it. Nightbot is just on vacation. Actually, no, this stream's as good a time as any. Let's go ahead, and let's see if we can just magically make Nightbot come back. I think I might have frozen the game to do that. You know, this is what we do for Nightbot. Nightbot.tv, I think it is. Then you gotta log in, and then it's like, hey, are you sure you want to log in? You're gonna be like, yeah. And then you're like, hey, which account do you want to log in as? Oh, but do you want to log in as you, or do you want to log in as Toycat? Do you want to make sure that you can do this? Yeah, I do. Okay, Nightbot should magically be back. We hit the join channel button. There we go, look at that. We did it. We did it. Yeah, maybe. I'm not even sure. So I think Nightbot retired. I don't know why he went away, but he did. Or it did. We should say it's not a person. A lot of people get confused, like, he's called Nightbot, but maybe he's not. Just a bot. Yeah, he is just a bot, it's fine. So yeah, as you can see, our trucks are doing really good jobs. Just going all over the place. Wait, we've got like a functional city, besides the fact that we cannot store or export. Oh, we've got a maximum. We need to like start building warehouses just so we can keep polluting. Man, this is hard. Like, you figure like, oh yeah, polluting must be real easy. But it's harder than you think. Next time you see someone like dumping plastic in a river or something, like, remember, that's not as easy as it looks. That takes real effort, real dedication. We should be praising that just a little bit more than we already do. And there we go, we've got some street lights leading up to the warehouse. And now I guess we gotta buy something, like a vehicle maybe? I guess we just put all the vehicles here, and then they'll eventually move stuff from there to there. Maybe? Is that how that works? I'm not sure how any of this works, I'm being honest. Again, I just want some unhappy dead people. Is that too much to ask? Okay, we're connected to the road network now. So now people can come to and from my place, but will they come to and from that? Because it's filled. Like, we have to just keep building new factories just to pollute. It's terrible. Also, I think we might have, I got Nightbot back. We did it, guys. We did it. Why do you have Facebook cam in? So here's the thing. I have face cam turned on, but it's not doing anything. I don't know why if my webcam's just broken, or what's going on today. But also, it turns out I don't have contact lenses. Like, I was gonna put some in, and I was like, oh, can't find any. So I'm wearing glasses, but they reflect light really badly. Like, I don't know how to show you that with my webcam not working. But it's like, there's just too many things not working, so I was like, you know, we'll just not have it turned on, and we'll just hope no one questions it. That's the beauty of any Soviet society too. If no one questions something, then did it really happen? Oh, one of my favorite things is you learn this, at least you learn it fairly early on in like, oh yeah, so what's the deal with, you know, the communist countries? And it's like, so here's the crazy thing. This is a Stalin thing, but also a lot of the leadership of many of these countries did this. Stalin would, when he liked someone, he'd have pictures of them made, etc. And when that person needed to be taken out of the picture, he would alter all the pictures for all the like archives and remove that person from all of them. Like, this was like photoshopping in the days when photoshopping involved light exposure and stuff. So also, let's keep an eye on those population statistics. Yeah, look at that lifespan to go down. We're gonna get this happiness to 0, no matter what it takes. But the craziest thing is like, so, you know, it's fun fact. It's like, okay, so he used to like remove people from pictures, and it's like, okay, that's fine, that's normal, that's fair, that's a thing that happened. We can all agree on that. But the thing I find really wild is that you kind of just learn that, oh yeah, people must have been idiots for just forgetting these people existed. But what's more scary is you kind of know they exist, but without any official evidence, what do you know of that, you know? Like, you're watching a Toycat video right now, I assume. I mean, a live stream, to be more precise. But if someone tells you tomorrow, no, you didn't watch this live stream, you couldn't find it anywhere, you couldn't find any record of me, what would you believe? You might be like, man, where did Toycat go? Or you might be like, oh, I must have not realized. And it was half that, half making you just kind of doubt yourself, and half like a power play of like, hey, question where that person went, you know where you'll go. This is the official history now. There was never, there was never a Trotsky. There was never a insert person here. The pubs are giving people happiness. If you remove them all, happiness might go down. See, that might be an idea to consider. Yeah, just to really maximize, peak this. Let's destroy some pubs and like do a little experiment. Like, if we really remove some pubs, like the ones closest to people's houses, so if people want to be alcoholics, now they have to walk for it. Just make them go for a bit more work, yeah. Like, all the trucks are running just fine, but people are slowly dying and getting less happy, as you can see. It's going quite well. Our average lifespan is now 52 years, and our average happiness. Again, though, look at the party loyalty. That is, we are killing it on government loyalty. That much can be said, and also on alcohol use. Like, people are getting more and more drunk every day. Look, alcohol addiction is at 70%. It looks like. Can we get alcohol addiction to 100%? These are the questions that our rulers never ask. People are like, when they're in those debates, they're like, you know what I would do? I would make small businesses 4% more effective. They should be like, our alcohol addiction rate in this country is 6%. It's horrific. Let's get that to 60% by next election. Those will be the results we need. But yeah, you can see, like, people are now dying fast enough that the alcohol addiction's leveled out. Also, people are trying to escape the country. Look how many escapes we have. Every single time the population goes down, it's because people are escaping. This is the problem with communism, like, if you want me to be real here, I think the real reason communism usually fails is because the people you most want in your society are the people who most benefit from anything but that society. Like, I think it's an interesting ideology where, like, oh yeah, it's called brain drain in modern day countries, like between, like a less developed country and a more developed country. Why would you stay in a country where you're not really wanted when you can go to a country where you are really wanted? Why would you stay in any form of relationship where you're not wanted when you could be somewhere where you know you would be? And yeah, the good news is less people are escaping per second. Like, this graph, like, it's going down slowly because there are just less people around. Like, our population is it's going down so fast. We're gonna have no people left soon. It's gonna be the perfect utopia. They won't die if you just destroy all the food. That's a good idea. Let's just destroy the food. What could go wrong with that? But yeah, we have so few people left, and they're very, very, very unhappy. But we can keep staying at this. So in the meantime, let's give a peek around the map. Let's see what's actually going on here. So let's just turn off the wireframe. Let's open this up so we can keep an eye on it, because it's very satisfying to watch. And let's show you that, like, oh yeah, this is a big map. In theory, you could make a giant, multifaceted world of multiple ports in and out, multiple things to do. There's even electricity. Like, I've only shown off a little bit today. Like, there is oil, there is, in the infrastructure, there's like electricity lines and pipelines even, if you want to, pump out oil or pump in oil. It's crazy the detail this game actually does have. But my problem with it so far is it just doesn't have enough detail. Like, it's fun making communist jokes, it's fun talking about communism, giving you some fun facts. We've done that all of today, right? At least a little bit. Some of it accurate, some of it kind of for jokes and memes. But yeah, the problem with the game is, like, it's fun as a base for something, but in my experience, the mechanics don't really gel perfectly together. The lifespan and the happiness, that seems to be working quite well. Look, our lifespan is now 46 years. 46, it's coming down so far. See, here's the thing, if they're so unhappy, if they're so unhealthy, why don't they just go to the hospital? This is my problem with people. We definitely have a hospital. It's a well-known fact there is a hospital over here. It might be a propaganda hospital, but it's still very much a hospital. Also, we just got some oak emblems there. Should we build some more? Yeah, I think what we need is we need these pubs to have more Soviet emblems outside. Also, if these people don't have jobs, how are they paying for all the alcohol? Is that a question we're meant to ask, or is it just a fact we don't ever bring up? Giving Toycat money for the irony. It is quite ironic to give any form of communist money. Or maybe it's the opposite fact. Who knows for sure? I mean, lots of people know for sure, and it's not, but who knows that that's the real thing? Oh, you can build a giant hammer and sickle. Now, if this isn't the dream, I don't know what is. Build one of those right there. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Every pub should have a hammer and sickle behind it. But yeah, because there's this big problem with any country that centrally plans, where the priorities of the people don't match the priority of the governing. And to prove that, we'll build a giant Soviet flag. Totally not just because I want to... Like, seriously, look at the size of this pub. It's a pretty big pub, right? Like, it's big. Comrade bar drinks. It's like the size of, like, a department store. Now look at our Soviet mural behind it. Honest question, was Stalin worse than Hitler? I think that's one of the debates that isn't very good to have on the internet. Like, in terms of... You know, because again, I think people on both sides, like, people on both the extremes on both sides want to believe that their guy was actually not as bad as you think. But the truth is they both killed millions, right? Like, they both moved their country forwards at the cost of millions of people within it. And the progress forwards was not worth the deaths, unless you're a crazy person. But some people count as that. Also, average lifespan, we're under 44 years now. And happiness, I don't know how we can get this lower. Like, what do we need to do? Like, alcohol addiction, you know, it's still the same even though we remove all those pubs. I guess because we just have too many now. So maybe we need to start exporting the oil? Yeah, that's a good idea. We can... Oh, you can't actually sell from here? Oh, we could go to the border and sell some plastics, maybe? Again, not sure how any of this works, but let's try. You gotta deliver them into the custom house, but how do you deliver resources there? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, again, there's a few things that don't quite perfectly work, because, like, we can't get any... Maybe, wait, what we could do? We could assign one of these vehicles over here, maybe? Again, I'm just not even entirely sure. Maybe we have to make, like, a vehicle depot. That's just a thing that exists, maybe. Various industry. Storages and warehouses. Again, none of this is too clear to me. But, yeah, it's a really interesting game. Communism is a really interesting thing. Look into it sometime. If you ever are like, oh yeah, you know, I know there are some countries that used to be communist now kind of aren't. I would say look into them just as like yeah, well, work out why that didn't work. Build it into your own plans of X, Y, and Z. Because, you know, again, someone asked in the chat just a minute ago, like, why are you so interested in communist countries? Like, why is it that you know all these different things? Like, why does it matter? And it's because, like, again, I think the ideas are super interesting things to discuss. Like, you know, a lot of our society is based on ideas, right? Also, this planet is just empty. No one lives here anymore. They're all gone. They're all dead. No one lives here. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Yep, they're all dead. Besides our newest flats. Like, we destroyed these flats. Yeah, there's one person who lives here now. One person able to get food, unable to go to a place of spirituality, unable to get meat. Yeah, we have 80 people left. 32 more escapes today. Yeah, there are a lot of escapes every day in our society. But you better believe party loyalty is still at an all-time high. So, also average age is 31. I don't think it gets any lower. I think it goes up very slightly just by virtue of the world getting older. Yeah, we've maxed everything out. Oh, that's average age, not average lifespan. Lifespan is going down slowly, but it's fine. Productivity is 29%. But yeah, I find these things so interesting because ideas are great things to discuss, but when ideas go horribly wrong, it's worth working out why. Because a lot of people still believe those ideas, and it's a really important thing to work out what exactly, you know, you need to convince people. If someone has a wrong idea, you don't just dismiss it. You need to discuss it. You need to work out why the thing went wrong. And also from a historical standpoint, it's interesting to see why every country in history that did well or badly did that. Like, you know, why is it that Germany outperforms every other country in Europe? Why is it that, you know, Russia is so big but is a smaller economy than California? Why is it that Indonesia has 300 million people or something, but has a lower, you know, GDP than like Singapore and Malaysia combined. Like, you know, all these bizarre questions, they come up and it's super interesting. So yeah, I would say look into it sometime. This game is an interesting dive into like being a single post-communist state, post-Soviet state with 66 people. Again, I don't think we can get this to go too much worse. There are just like, let's see if we can even find any people left, because there's 2 children and 62 productive age workers. So let's go looking for where these people are, because I have no idea. Everywhere we can go is just empty. Maybe they live over here. Oh yeah, there we go. We got 8 people. We got one of the legendary few people, and there's one guy working on this farm, and that's all I can find so far. There's 0 people there, 0 people there. It really is a proper ghost town. Yeah, there's 3 people working here, so we got some proper busy locations somewhere. But yeah, we killed everyone, which, if you think about it, means we kind of won the game. The game might say it's all about maximizing rubles or trying to build a society, but we did what every communist country did best. We made everyone horrifically unhappy, we made them escape, we made them die, we got them addicted to alcohol, which was nice, got them unaddicted to religion, I guess, and then everyone's dead and the state collapses. So, perfect representation of communism, all in one little live stream, which I hope you all enjoyed, by the way. You can like it if you liked it, you can share it if you really liked it, and you can turn on notifications if you want to see more wanted tractors like this one. But no, yeah, this was just a fun little goof at Sides Dudes Day. I hope you all enjoyed it, because Tuesday is the day where we try out some other weird things, and this one was definitely a strange game. But yeah, on Thursday, we're doing some speedrunning Minecraft world records. It'll be fun. Check it out, and thank you for showing up, even with my camera turned off, and making a bunch of bizarre things. Also, there are a lot of successful socialist communist countries. Slovakia, Poland, Czechia, Baltic states already slowly catching up to the West. You know they're not communist anymore though, right? You know they did very badly under communism, and their post-communist version is the one that is doing really well. Like, Czechia is killing it, but they haven't been communist in 30 years. And they've been killing it for about 20 or so years of those past 30, so you know, you can take from that whatever conclusion you like. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next live stream. Try and beat this score, by the way. Can you get your people less happy than this? I challenge you to try. Be the best communist dictator you can be. Okay, goodbye. Turning off the stream is quite hard because it's full screened.